To news now in St. Mary, where the police allegedly shot and killed a man who is believed to be responsible for the murder of a soldier and a mechanic in Spring Peace, St. Anne. Acting on information that the suspect was in the parish, the St. Anne police carried out an operation in the Arcadia housing scheme in Gale when the shooting happened. Some residents gave an account of what happened.
Around 10 minutes, 15 minutes after, there was another explosion. And that's when we saw them coming out with the young man, and draw him like a common dog and just lift him up and throw him in at the jeep. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Nobody know what him do. Nobody know hear when the police jeep them coming and scheme nothing. Everything was done so quietly.
And when they come with the pan of the shot, they drop, youth say then drop a shine gun in eye. And I say, I come on and whisper, I say, then find gun pan the next pan the youth. They don't find no gun pan the youth. I plant the gun. So then gone, we didn't know, gone rubber and them a rubber pan the youth. So why do they care with the youth?
The shooting took place Tuesday around 1 p.m. Our news team reached out to Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay of the JCF's Corporate Communications Unit for more details on the incident, but she was unavailable. And it's now time for a break here on the Midday News, but please stay with us. We'll have much more when you return. Welcome back. Continuing the news. The parliamentary opposition has shed more light on the reason for disagreeing with the seating arrangement for Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Central George Wright in the lower house. There were testy exchanges in Parliament over the issue on Tuesday, with House Speaker Marissa Dalrymple Filbert insisting that as an independent, Mr. Wright should be seated on the opposition benches. Member of Parliament for St. Andrew South West, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, says the opposition is concerned that Mr. Wright has returned to Parliament without commenting on the controversy surrounding him. Speaking on Power 106's Morning Agenda this morning, Dr. Brown-Burke also disclosed that there was contemplation of a boycott.
Many of us have considered actually not sitting in the Parliament with him at all. What we do not want to do, though, is to leave the people unrepresented because of that. Constitutional lawyer Michael Hilton says Mr. Wright should sit on the government benches in the House of Representatives if he still supports the current administration. Mr. Hilton says the seating decision will probably be made by the Speaker of the House. It's the hurricane season, but farmers in the breadbasket parish of St. Elizabeth are facing an uphill task in getting their agricultural produce to flourish. O'Shane Masters has been speaking with some of the farmers and now reports.
Tired and frustrated. It's how farmers in St. Elizabeth feel every time they look at their dried fields and the dwindling produce. The farmers say they spend thousands in production, but at the other end,
as you can see, we're not getting any size to really sell. It's mostly small melons that are being produced now.
From southwest St. Elizabeth to southeast St. Elizabeth, the cries of the farmers are still the same. What about us? They are calling for water. They are calling for increased assistance from the government, especially that of Agriculture Minister Floyd Green, who is also the Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth.
Well, the water system is my biggest problem. To get the water is my biggest problem. I have to buy water for my garden, and I love farming very, very much.
Because it's just for we if you buy water for farm. You buy deer seed, you buy deer spray. Every day something raised, and the water's still there. So we need water, that's all we need.
While some sections of a parish have been experiencing rain, areas like Flagaman, Top Hill and Delightful are experiencing drought conditions. One farmer, who did not want to speak on camera, told us that he's tired of talking. He says over the years, successive governments and politicians in general make promises to help. That help, he argues, is yet to materialize. Pointing to the recent purchase of 2 water trucks at a cost of $30 million to supply farmers in the area with water, he says the money could have been used to assist them in getting a more reliable source of the commodity. Gary Ebanks, a farmer in Flagaman, Southwest St. Elizabeth, says the challenges just keep piling on. The farmers aren't able to prepare adequately for the hurricane season because of falling revenues.
We do not have enough resources to get through that. So, we are praying that hopefully we don't have that to deal with. But in case we have hurricanes, we're gonna be impacted really badly. We're having serious losses from last year till this year. From too much rain in some cases, and now we're having too little. And
And then the pandemic makes it even worse.
yes, because there's no hotel taking any glut, so we are fretting to plant. Because we do not know how much the local market can take, and we depend on the hotels for the excess.
Hence, he's hoping that the Agriculture Ministry can look into the export market, which will benefit the small farmers.
There's nobody to direct us to what to do, what's the process of getting there, where any markets, if there's any markets available. So, it's a blind leading the blind at this point. Because I would love to go into export. I've been thinking about it for yams and even thyme, dry scallion, peppers, that kind of thing. But we do not have the resources to find markets. The government is not putting any programs together that can impact that kind of thing. So therefore, it makes it very hard.
And we will continue to highlight the challenges of these farmers and seek to get the responses from the relevant authorities on these matters. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
To the latest now on the coronavirus, the country recorded 50 new positive COVID-19 cases on Tuesday. This pushed the total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases to 49,429. The positivity rate is now at 5.6%. No deaths were recorded over the last 24 hours, with the tally remaining at 1,012. However, 2 cases are under investigation. 131 persons remain in hospital, 9 are critically ill. There are currently 19,984 active cases. And here's it's now time for the Business Minute. Here's Cody and Barrett.
In the world of business, the Montego Bay Hip Strip in St. James is expected to get a well-needed facelift. This now that the Harmony Beach Park in the parish is opened. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says $150 million has been budgeted to commence preliminary work.
The plan includes physical improvements, new product development and substantial operation, heavy streetscaping, and the possibility of pedestrianizing the area after we have completed the transportation and road network building in the Montego Bay area.
In the meantime, new and upcoming entrepreneurs in the tourism sector will soon be able to benefit from a new initiative that will help to fund their businesses.
The Ministry of Tourism intends to establish a tourism incubator to nurture new and start-up tourism enterprises. We will initiate discussions with our potential partners such as University of Technology, University of the West Indies, Jamaica Business Development Corporation, Jamaica Promotions Corporation, to foster innovative ideas and how we can differentiate our sector from our competition.
The fund will be known as the Innovation-Based Tourism Initiative, ITI. Mr. Bartlett was speaking during the close of the sectorial debate on Tuesday. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Cody Ann Barrett.
And here now is a preview of what's coming up in this evening's Health Report.
Coming up in this evening's Health Report, we look at diet and how it has contributed to certain medical conditions.
When we look at the seasonings that we put in our when we're seasoning our foods, fresh seasoning, scallion, thyme, onion, scotch bonnet pepper, curry, lime juice. There are seasonings which are combinations of herbs that you can certainly utilize. Cut out a lot of all of the other sauces which are so high in sodium. So there's a lot that we can do.
That's the health report in Primetime News at 7. And now for today's healthy living tip. Eat less processed or packaged foods, eat more fruits and vegetables, reduce salt intake, drink plenty of water, and exercise.
And we now head to a quick break. When we return, Simon Preston will have your midday sports.